So apparently a police department in California is photoshopping Lego heads on the faces of criminals in order to protect their identities due to a new law. What this says to me is that California is, at this point, they're self-aware that their entire state is a joke. So now they're leaning into it. Anyways, let's take a look at the story. California police cover suspects' faces with Lego heads due to new law. This is what happens when Gen Z just becomes adults and now they're running police departments, because this is something you would never see 30 years ago. I feel like when I was a kid, I would be like, oh yeah, when I'm an adult, I'm going to do all this cool stuff, all this weird, wacky stuff. And now it's being done because apparently nobody in my generation grew up, and I'm not complaining. Gen Z's just living out their fantasies, their childhood fantasies as adults. Marietta Police Department explained on March 18th that the reason they're adding Lego heads to photos is to shield detainees' faces to comply with a new state law prohibiting the release of mugshots and booking photos of those accused of nonviolent crimes. On January 1st, 2024, a new law was put into action in California, which was made to protect the identities of suspects of nonviolent crimes. So apparently this is their priority, and it's not the pedos in Hollywood, it's not the homeless problem, it's not the fact that nobody can afford living in California and it's completely falling apart. It's let's put Lego heads on criminals to preserve their identity. Not only does California allow you to walk into a store and steal a bunch of stuff, but now they'll protect your identity by throwing a Lego head on top of you. This is dystopian, truly. In fact, if you live in California, I have a great date idea for you. You can go on a picnic, Venice Beach, maybe go surfing, and then after that, rob a bank and get matching cute little Lego mugshots. I think that would be adorable. The law also requires police departments to remove other mugshots from social media after 14 days. Marietta Police Department wrote on Facebook, the Marietta Police Department prides itself in transparency with the community, but it also honors everyone's rights and protections as afforded by law, even suspects. In order to share what is happening in Marietta, we chose to cover the faces of suspects to protect their identity while still aligning with the new law. I don't know if this is a statement by being like, hey, this is a dumb law, or I don't know if if they just think this is a good idea. It's also pretty crazy that they hired a guy just to do this. Picture them putting out a job posting on Indeed for the Marietta Police Department, and the description is photoshopping Lego heads onto criminals. I would think it's a scam. I wouldn't even apply, even though it's a dream job. And imagine going out to a bar and some girl asking you what you do for a living, and she's like a doctor, and you have to, they'd be like, yeah, I Photoshop Lego heads on criminals. And she's like, what? And you're like, I Photoshop Lego heads on criminals. It pays well. It's a good job. I swear it has benefits. It has benefits. What a weird dystopian world we live in. What is going on? This is a real job. And this guy probably gets paid good too. He gets paid more than teachers. He probably gets paid more than the cops, because anybody in any type of technology field, they demand a lot of money. I hope this guy's making $100K because he deserves it. He's not doing anything wrong. He's just taking advantage of the opportunity given to him. But the practice is nothing new for the Marietta police, as they have been obscuring suspects' faces for several years before the new law was introduced, using emojis, Barbie dolls, and Shrek. Okay, so they were just doing this for fun. This is an unusual police department. It's very, I feel like it's run by a meme lord or something. This one's not even good. Look at that. The masking's terrible on this one. At least the Shrek one, they attempted to mask it, but you gotta fire whoever did that Barbie one. That's trash. And you already know that people are gonna go to Marietta to make YouTube videos because it's just easy money. This is easy views. Just making a video that's like, I got arrested in Marietta and here's my mugshot. Guarantee it's the next meta, and you heard it here first. And if YouTubers don't do it, then kick streamers will, because committing crimes is just part of being a kick streamer at this point. So this fits right in. Some of the reasons were the presumption of innocence until proven guilty in a court of law, the effects a post could have on an individual or their families outside of the criminal proceedings. They may be subject to public shaming, and some of it came down to workload, the department previously wrote. What do they mean by workload? Our goal is to keep our citizens informed on what is occurring in the city in which we all live, as well as the work the police department is doing on behalf of the citizens, it added. So they're part of the reason they're taking these pictures are just to prove to the citizens that they're arresting people. That's interesting. Despite people criticizing the new law, people couldn't help but laugh and joke in the comments of the Facebook post. One person wrote, "Are the makers of Lego okay with this?" I didn't even think of that. Like, imagine having this billion-dollar company and now you're just synonymously known with replacing criminals' head. That can't be good. It's a children's toy that's now being used to replace criminals' heads. I could see a lawsuit coming from this. People have been sued for less. For example, some dude suing Marvel because they made this logo of a wolf for one of their shows, and he thinks it looks similar to his logo of a wolf. Here it is right here. So his logo, the artist, is on the left, Darius Alas, and then Marvel made this logo on the right. And it's nothing similar at all. Like, if you look at the eye shape, different, eye color different. There's a guy on top. If you look at the eyebrows, different. Look at the ears, they're different. There's no knife, no rose. The mouth is open. Like, there's only so many ways you can make a black and white wolf. And even the hair on the side is different. This is completely different. Yet this guy's suing Marvel. So if I'm in the shoes of Lego, this is, I'm not going to say defamation. I'm no lawyer, but there's like some sort of category of, you can't just be using Lego heads on criminals, especially if you're a police department. Like, this isn't some private company. This is a police department. There's no way they got permission to be doing this. This is kind of wild. I'm all for it, don't get me wrong, but I'm just curious. There's got to be repercussions to this. You can't just be memeing as a police department. Otherwise, the world is going to fall apart. Imagine every police department just starts memeing and everything's just a joke and they're just Fortnite dancing as they're arresting people. It could get out of hand, and society would fall apart. So I think you got to nip this in the butt and stop it right where it is. Anyways, I just thought that was interesting, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.